Welcome to StudioCloud's video tutorial on project management. Today we're going to be covering task templates and pipelines. One of the things that I should mention is that we do have written tutorials. So if you see anything in the video tutorial that looks different than what's on your computer, refer to the written tutorials for the most up-to-date information. We update the written tutorials as soon as we have releases, and there is a delay before when we can get the video tutorials updated. So let's go ahead and jump into task templates. What are they? Task templates let you quickly create tasks in a project, and then when you have a bunch of task templates grouped together, we call them task template groups. And when you create a new project, you select which task template group you want to use, and then it adds all those tasks into the project. So we have two different ways of adding tasks to projects. You can either manually do it or you can use a task template. We do have orders, and that's not included in the list because there's a few different things you can do with orders. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's walk through the how to add tasks. So in this example right here, we go in and manually add a task one at a time to a project. We go edit it and click on the task tab, and I'll show you how to do that all in a little bit. And you manually add it. So you'd have to manually create 6 tasks to have 6 tasks in your project. If you have a task template group, you go in there in StudioCloud and create the task templates once, and then when you create a new project, you just select that task template group name and it will add all those to StudioCloud. So let's go ahead and walk through that process. So we have our project management section here. Let's go and edit this one, and we click on tasks, and you can create a task just by clicking on the new task button there, and you can add additional information to it if you want to, and then you just click save. And we now have that's how you manually add a task to a project. Now for the task templates, you click New Project. Let's just call this one Clean the Office version 2. You come down to the task template group, you click the Clean Office button, and you click Save. And it will add, let's go ahead and refresh it. There it is, it has the Clean the Office, and inside of that Clean the Office, it has all the tasks we created. Now the way you create a task template is you click on Settings, and we have these options here. So any one of these three. So we're going to click on Manage General Projects, and we have the Clean Office option here. You click New, you type the name of the template in, which Clean Office version 2, and click Add Task Template. And we're going to call this template Sweep the Floor. And you can come in there and select the priority, and this will be the priority that the task gets when it's created. You can add a description. You can select the employee that will be assigned this task, and each one of the tasks can have a different employee. And you can select the time frame that you want the task to have. Either the time, you can have the time when the task was created, or you can give it a specific time frame. Because sometimes when you create tasks, you want them done at the end of the day, or other times it doesn't matter what time they're done. We have 2 other ones here. Client project. These are used for tracking prospective clients. And we have event template group. These are tasks that you can do before or after an event or session. And I should mention this can be used for either prospective clients, or it can be used for clients too, just adding tasks that you need to get done for a client. So we've covered task templates for, well, we showed you the example of the general project. Let's go ahead and show you examples of here's a client project right here. If you click here, you can select any of the task templates for that client project, or you can go over to the client section and click the little create project for client button there, and then you'd select the desired task template to have it populated right there, and it does automatically add in information for the project for you. Another way you can do it for clients is you can come down to create, you can click create project with client, and then from here you can select the desired task template group to add the task to the client. For event, you can double click and do the create project from event button, or you can come to the agenda view and click the appointment right there and the create project button right there, and it lets you do the same thing where you can select the desired task template group. So we've shown you how to do it for projects, we've shown you how to do it for clients, and we've shown you how to do it for the calendar, the event test. Those are for the event task template ones. Let's go ahead and go on to the order task templates. Now the order task templates are the most common way you'd use the project management section. It's also can be a little more complicated, so we're going to spend a little bit more time on this one. So here we have the ways you can add tasks to an order. The first one is you can manually add it to the order. Exactly the same way you manually add tasks to the projects too. You can use task templates. It's very similar to the same way that you would use task templates for the projects. You can add tasks based on the items ordered. In this instance, it'd copy everything in the invoice, all the names of the items in the invoice, and stick them into the order as a task. And then you can add tasks using task template groups. So in this instance, what it would do is that it would go through and say, okay, they ordered this product. Is there a task template that is linked to this product? And if so, you'd add all the tasks that are associated with this product. We'll go through and give you some examples of all that. But this is first how you manually add them. You'd have to go through each one and manually add it. Using a task template group, it would just take all of these right here and stick them straight into the order. It wouldn't matter what they had in the invoice, it would just do it straight. This one, it takes what they ordered and sticks it straight into the order. And only what they ordered, so nothing more, nothing less. So for example, if they ordered these items, these would be the tasks that are listed in the order of what the items that need to be delivered. So now we get on to the more complicated one. So let's just follow the blue path here to start off with. Let's assume that all they had in the order for right now is this ordered item 1. So what it would do, if you had this option selected, it would say, okay, let's find the tasks that are linked to order item 1. And it looks like we have 2 tasks that are linked. In this instance, it would then add those tasks to the order. And for this one, we had order item 2, and it also has 2 tasks. It could be 1, it could be substantially more, and both of those were added to the order. This one, the red one, there isn't a task template group associated with it, and so nothing is added to the order. Examples of this would be like a service. A service fee would be a good example of that one. Then these one could be like album or pictures or other type of products or packages. So here is a combination of using all of it. So all those methods we showed you before, we're going to step through each one. So in this one right here, we have it selected to match. So it's gone through and says, okay, find the task templates that are matched with this ordered item 1. And we have 2, and it adds both of those 2 to the order. In this example, there isn't a task template associated with this ordered item 2. So it goes down and essentially inserts the name ordered item 2 as a task in the order. This one right here is a manually added task template group. So we selected we want to use this task template group, and so it adds these 2 to the order. And this one right here is a manually added task. So we've done all 4 of the options here in the exact same order. So let's go ahead and walk through the whole process of this with the invoice. We're going to go to settings here, and I'm going to show you how the order task templates are set up. We have global task templates. We'll talk about that in a sec. Right here we're linking the we have the product is album, and it's linked to a task to do make album. So if you were to create a order and you had the item album select as an ordered item, then it would automatically add the task make album. In this instance, we have 3 tasks: 8x10 print. It's the same product for all 3 of them, so all 3 of these would be added to the order if they ordered it. And we don't have a global task, so we're just going to quickly create an example. Example global task, and we'll just do example 1 as the task. Alright. And now let's go. We're going to go to the point of sale, and from this window we can either edit, and under more actions we can say create order from invoice, or we can just click the little create order from invoice button right here. And we've now added these options right here. Okay, so this one right here, we'll go through and say I want to find. It will go through the invoice and find any items that have been ordered that are associated with the task template. So the example we gave before is that 8x10 photo. It would add all of those to the order. Automatically create tasks for ordered items not associated with the task template. So this one would copy the name of whatever they ordered directly into the order. And this one right here would just insert the one we just created, the example global task. It has a task of task 1. It would insert that one into the order. One of the things so going back here, we have the this global task template right here, and if you look in all of these, global task template. So by global it means it shows up everywhere, and you can see it. So that covers quickly an overview of how task templates work, and we'll come back and do a lot more details on that, but we want to give a general foundation for that. Pipelines. What are they? A way to track the status of the entire project or order. And let me show you in the program that this right here is the pipeline, and if you click on it, it has a full drop down with different pipelines, and inside of it different pipeline stages that you can select. So if you think of pipeline, it's go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's kind of like water flowing through a pipe. It goes one after another. So we have 4 types of projects. We have a general project, client project, event projects, or orders. We have 5 types of pipelines, and this is the exact same thing with task templates. We have a general project pipeline, client project, client pipelines, event pipelines, order pipelines, and global pipelines. And let me just jump back to the program so that we can just look at the settings. So here we go with manage pipelines, and we have a option down here to create them all. The global pipeline, you would typically either use all global pipelines, or you would use the client pipeline, event pipeline, order pipeline, and general project pipeline. The advantage, they both do the same thing. The difference is if you come here and select the pipeline, this will show only the general project pipelines and global pipelines. So if we go to here to the new client project, this will show the new client pipelines and the global pipelines. It would make sense if you only had a few pipelines. The global pipelines make a lot of sense. It's fast and easy to use. However, if you have a lot of pipelines, you definitely want to split it up so that you are only you've seen the pipelines that you want to work with. Otherwise, it just can get really confusing and mistakes can be made. One of the other options we have is default pipelines, and this is just to speed things up a little bit. So if you look here, we have default event pipeline, default order pipeline, and all that means is that when you select this little button here, the order pipeline is pre-selected, and the same thing applies with the event. So if you come in here to the event and select the event follow-up pipeline is already pre-selected, and we did not have a general project pipeline selected. So if we were to come back here and click the new general project, there isn't a pipeline selected. You can only have one default pipeline. We do have some exciting things. These are really help speed things up. We have pipeline actions where you can do things when you switch between different stages of the pipeline. Let me first show you what that means, and then let me show you how you do it. So we created this one called the Clean Office version 2. Let's go ahead and assign it a pipeline. We're going to give it the Clean Office pipeline, and it goes automatically to the first step in that pipeline. You can then, now if you notice over here we have John Doe. Let's make that a little bit bigger. We have John Doe that is assigned as an employee. If we switch to a different stage, it changes the employee to be George Park. And then if we switch to another one, we have Dan Olson. So you can have it when you switch between different stages of the pipeline. It can do different things. Now let's go through what the options are, what it can do. So we'll click on this stage right here. So you can have it automatically change the priority. Useful if it gets to a certain task and it really needs to have a higher priority than other ones of that similar task. Useful if you have like a rush order. You can have every single one of those have a priority of 1. Or you can, when it gets assigned, it will automatically be assigned to priority 1. You can enable it to auto assign different employees the tasks, and at the exact same time you can have it send an email. So if we had it set up, we could have document templates set up here that would be pre-populated, and they would be automatically sent to George Park, informing him that this pipeline, this project or order has been assigned to him. You can do text message as well, and you can do also the same thing with the client. The employee ones are automatically sent without reviewing. The client ones, you do have to approve them before they go out. So it does pop up a window with the email. You do have to click the send button. And then you can also have it automatically change the deadline. So when you select a pipeline, it says, okay, we'll give you 1 day to work on it before the deadline's due. And so that's notification options. We call them pipeline actions or notification options. So we've talked about task templates. We've talked about pipelines. We've gone through a general overview of that. Now the difficult thing, which one do you use? So we're going to talk about that a little bit more and explain the pros and cons of each one. So pipelines are fast and easy. You can look up, and if a customer calls up over the phone, you can say it's in TouchUp, it's in the Print Lab. It also has those wonderful actions or notification options where you can have emails sent out or text messages when you change pipelines. The bad thing about pipelines, and pipelines do happen one after another, so it's easy to see what's next. The bad thing is since they do one stage after another, you can't be working simultaneously on stuff for an order. The project order can only be assigned to one employee at a time. There is logbook entries made when you do change the pipeline, but there isn't a place where you can go and click and see all the tasks that have been completed, which is what task templates can do. So task templates, more than one task can be marked completed at once. Each task can be assigned to a different employee. Each task can have a different deadline. And then you also can have the bad part of it is if a customer calls up over the phone, it's difficult to tell the status of the order because you might have 15 or 20 different tasks that are being assigned to different people with different deadlines. And the task templates don't have any of the actions. So let's go through and look at some good and bad task templates versus projects. So coming in here, we have the Clean Office here. We actually have, we're using both in this example. We have a pipeline for cleaning the office, and we also have a task list in here. So in this instance, either one would work, and that's actually how it works with most of these. You can use either one. But here's the problem with using the pipeline. Okay, so who is responsible for emptying the trash cans? In this instance, we have John Doe. Well, if we switch it, somebody else, George Park, is assigned to dust the office, and Dan Olson is assigned to sweep the floor. Well, those could, although it could be argued that these tasks could happen at the exact same time or in any order. So it doesn't. These tasks don't really need to happen one after another. And in that situation, it would probably make more sense to have them as tasks where you have, I don't recall the exact assignments, but you would have different ones assigned to different people. So John Doe, George Park, Dan Olson, and that way, from the task window, you can just go in here and you can filter by, the employees can filter by themselves and see which tasks are assigned to them. So in this instance, the clean office tasks pipeline is not as useful as the tasks. Whereas if we come down to the orders, photo touch-up, sent to print lab, at print lab, awaiting customer pickup, very useful for telling a customer the status of the entire order. If that order has dozens of things inside of it, it would be difficult from the pipeline to be able to track everything that needs to get done. Although there are, I mean, it's unlimited the length of the pipeline, so you could have 30 different steps in a pipeline. Although most people just have a few, between 5 to 10. So there's some examples right there. Let's jump back and all right. So you can use both. Pipelines work really good at tracking the entire order. Task templates work really good at tracking the individually ordered item. And if sometimes what businesses will do is they'll have individual task templates assigned to different people, like the touch-up artists or the print lab individuals or the packaging. They'll have different people assigned, and so they'll create all the tasks with the assignments to different people, and then they'll have those people, as they mark off tasks, change the pipeline status. So as soon as retouch-up is done with all of the touch-up, they'll move it on to the next one to send to print lab, and they'll go through that process. So you can use one, you can use pipelines, you can use task templates, you can use a combination of both. If you are unsure, we recommend you just use pipelines. Pipelines are easy to set up, easy to use. They have those notification options, and you can quickly see as you use pipelines if you're going to need to use task templates. And a lot of people, when they first set up the pipelines, they get a little bit overwhelmed with how to do it, and so I should say, when they set up the pipelines, the task templates, they try to do everything they can, every single step they can. So it's easiest if you just use some small steps and don't put a lot of, don't do like lists of 30 different tasks you need to do or stuff like that. Start off small, and as you work through things and start to notice you need to really track this, then add those tasks in so that you can make sure that the tasks that you have or the pipeline stages you have are the important ones and not giving you just extra steps. Of course, you can just add them all in there and remove them if you don't use them, so either way works.